A look at New Zealand's moneymakers. Have you ever wondered who decides what the coins in your pocket look like? In New Zealand, the story of our money is managed by a very important organisation called the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. Think of them as the guardians of our country's money. They are responsible for making sure we have enough cash, both banknotes and coins, to buy the things we need every day. The Reserve Bank has the sole authority to issue our currency, meaning they are the only ones who can officially create New Zealand dollars. This important job ensures that our money is trustworthy and accepted everywhere in the country, from the smallest local dairy to the biggest city supermarket. Their role is central to keeping our economy running smoothly. A surprising fact for many people is that even though the Reserve Bank of New Zealand is in charge, our coins are not actually made in New Zealand. For many decades, New Zealand has relied on other countries to produce its coins. This process is called striking or minting. Most of our coins have been made at the Royal Mint in the United Kingdom or the Royal Canadian Mint. Why do we do this? Building and running a national mint is a very expensive and complicated task. It requires specialized machinery and highly skilled workers. For a country the size of New Zealand, it is much more cost-effective to pay an established overseas mint to produce our coins for us when we need them. The Reserve Bank doesn't just order new coins whenever it feels like it. They carefully watch how much money is being used across the country. They need to predict how many new coins will be needed each year to replace old, worn-out ones or to meet the demands of a growing economy. When they decide it's time for a new batch of coins, they send out a request to various mints around the world. These mints then compete for the job, and the Reserve Bank chooses the one that offers the best quality and value for money. This system ensures that New Zealand gets high-quality coins at a competitive price without having to bear the massive cost of running our own minting facility day in and day out. So, while the designs on our coins are proudly Kiwi, celebrating our unique culture and nature, the physical process of making them happens far from our shores. This partnership with overseas mints has been a key part of New Zealand's currency history since our very first coins were introduced. It allows the Reserve Bank to focus on its main job, managing the nation's money supply and keeping our economy stable. It is a practical solution that has worked well for New Zealand for nearly a century, giving us beautiful and durable coins that we can all rely on. This international cooperation is an unseen but vital part of the story of the money we use every single day. Before 1933, New Zealand did not have its own unique set of coins. People used a mix of coins from Great Britain, Australia, and other parts of the British Empire. This could be quite confusing, as the coins were different sizes and weights. Imagine having a pocket full of change from 3 different countries. It became clear that New Zealand, as a proud and independent dominion, needed its own currency. The decision was made to create a series of coins that would be distinctly New Zealand's. This was a very important step for the country, as it was a way of showing the world our own national identity, separate from Great Britain. The task of designing these first coins was given to 2 talented artists. George Kruger Gray, a famous designer from the Royal Mint in London, was chosen to create the reverse designs, the side with the pictures. Percy Metcalfe, another well-known artist, was tasked with creating the obverse design, which is the side that features the portrait of the monarch. For these first coins, the monarch was King George V. The designs Kruger Gray created were inspired by New Zealand's unique flora and fauna, the things that make our country special. He carefully chose symbols that would represent the nation's character and natural beauty, ensuring each coin told a small story. The designs chosen were truly iconic. The half-crown featured the New Zealand coat of arms, a powerful symbol of the nation. The florin showed a majestic kiwi, our famous flightless bird surrounded by ferns. The shilling depicted a proud Maori warrior, or toa, holding a taiaha, representing the strength and spirit of the indigenous people. The sixpence displayed a huia bird, a beautiful native bird that is now sadly extinct, making the coin a poignant historical record. Finally, the threepence had a simple but elegant design of 2 crossed patu, which are traditional Maori clubs. These designs were an instant success, as they gave New Zealanders coins they could finally call their own. These first coins, struck in silver, were introduced into circulation in 1933 and 1934. They marked a significant moment in our history. For the first time, when people reached into their pockets, they found coins that reflected their own country. The images of the Kiwi, the Maori warrior, and the coat of arms were daily reminders of New Zealand's identity. This move was more than just about practicality, it was a powerful statement of nationhood. It was the beginning of a long and fascinating journey for New Zealand's coinage, a journey that would see our money evolve to celebrate our history, our culture, and our place in the world. Just a couple of years after New Zealand introduced its first national coins, the country decided to create something truly special. This was our very first commemorative coin, a coin made to celebrate a specific event or person. The event chosen was the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi in 1840, one of the most important moments in New Zealand's history. The coin was called the Waitangi Crown, and it was issued in 1935, though it commemorated the treaty signed almost a century earlier. A crown was a large, heavy silver coin with a value of 5 shillings, making it a very impressive piece of money for its time. The design of the Waitangi crown is what makes it so famous and sought after by collectors today. The reverse side of the coin is a masterpiece of numismatic art created by the artist Percy Metcalfe. It features a striking image of Tamati Wakanene, a prominent Maori chief who was a strong supporter of the treaty, shaking hands with William Hobson, the first governor of New Zealand. Above them is a royal crown, symbolizing the British monarchy, and in the background the sun is rising. The words Waitangi are inscribed below the powerful image, leaving no doubt about the event being celebrated. This design was a powerful symbol of the partnership between Maori and the British Crown. Unlike the coins made for everyday use, the Waitangi crown was not intended to be spent in shops. It was created primarily for collectors and as a national keepsake. Only a very small number of these coins were ever made. In total, only 1,128 Waitangi crowns were struck. Of these, 468 were brilliant uncirculated coins sold in presentation cases, while the remaining 660 were special proof versions which have a much shinier, mirror-like finish. Because so few were made, the Waitangi crown is extremely rare and valuable today. It is considered the holy grail for collectors of New Zealand coins. The Waitangi crown set a precedent for New Zealand. It showed that coins could be more than just money. They could be miniature works of art that tell important stories about our nation's past. It was the first of many commemorative coins that would be issued over the following decades to mark significant anniversaries, celebrate national achievements, and honor important figures. The incredible beauty and historical significance of the Waitangi crown make it a true treasure of New Zealand's numismatic history, a powerful reminder of the founding document of our nation, captured forever in silver. 5 years after the release of the Waitangi crown, New Zealand had another major milestone to celebrate, its 100th anniversary as a nation. The year 1940 marked the centennial of the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi. To honor this important occasion, the government decided to issue a special set of commemorative coins. Unlike the single Waitangi crown, this time a whole series of coins was planned, from the halfpenny up to the half crown. This was a much bigger celebration in coinage, designed to reach more people and serve as a lasting memento of the centennial year for everyone in the country. A competition was held to find the best designs for these new coins, and it was won by a New Zealand artist named Leonard Cornwell Mitchell. His designs beautifully captured the spirit of the centennial. The reverse of the half crown featured a stunning image of a woman standing before a backdrop of mountains, a city, and the rising sun, symbolizing a century of progress and development in New Zealand. This design was a powerful representation of the nation's growth from a young colony to a modern country. It was a forward-looking image, full of hope and pride for what New Zealand had accomplished in its first 100 years. The other coins in the series also had unique designs. The florin showed an image of the Southern Cross stars above a landscape. The shilling depicted a detailed carving of a Maori putokomanawa, the center post of a meeting house, representing Maori culture and heritage. The sixpence and threepence also featured Maori-inspired motifs, including crossed taiaha and traditional karuru masks. Perhaps the most famous coin from this set is the centennial halfpenny. Its design features a graceful tui-bird perched on a kauhai branch, a beautiful and classic New Zealand scene that remains beloved by collectors to this day. These centennial coins were produced in large numbers and were intended for general circulation so people could find them in their everyday change. However, many people chose to keep them as souvenirs of the special year. The Royal Mint in London, which struck the coins, also produced a small number of special proof sets for dedicated collectors. The 1940 centennial coins were another important step in New Zealand's coin history. They continued the tradition of using coins to tell our national story and celebrate our identity, blending themes of progress, nature, and our unique bicultural heritage in a way that everyone could appreciate. For the first 34 years of having our own currency, New Zealand used a system of money inherited from Great Britain: pounds, shillings, and pence. This system could be quite complicated. There were 12 pence in a shilling and 20 shillings in a pound. This meant there were 240 pence in a single pound. Doing maths with this system was tricky, especially for children in school and for businesses keeping accounts. By the 1960s, many countries around the world were switching to a simpler system called decimal currency, where the money is based on units of 10 and 100. New Zealand decided it was time to make the change too. The date for the big switchover was set for Monday, the 10th of July, 1967. On this day, pounds, shillings and pence were replaced by new dollars and cents. £1 became $2, 10 shillings became $1, and a shilling became 10 cents. This new system was much easier for everyone to understand and use. To prepare the public for this massive change, the government launched a huge publicity campaign. A friendly cartoon character named Mr. Dollar was created to explain how the new system worked. He appeared in newspapers, on television, and in advertisements, singing a catchy jingle to help everyone remember the conversion. Of course, a new currency system needed a whole new set of coins. The government commissioned the artist James Berry to create the designs for the new one: 2, 5, 10, 20, and 50-cent coins. Just like the first coins from the 1930s, the new designs focused on New Zealand's unique identity. The 1-cent coin featured a fern leaf, the 2-cent coin had a cowhide flower, and the 5-cent coin showed a tuatara, our ancient native reptile. The 10-cent coin displayed a Maori Kururu mask, the 20-cent coin had a kiwi, and the large 50-cent coin was decorated with Captain Cook's ship, the HMS Endeavour, to mark its distinctive shape. Decimal currency day arrived, and the changeover was a great success. People quickly adapted to the new, simpler money. The old pound notes and coins were gradually withdrawn from circulation as the new dollars and cents took their place. This event, known as decimalisation, was a major turning point in New Zealand's history. It was a sign of our nation modernising and aligning itself with the rest of the world. The beautiful designs of the new decimal coins became familiar sights in our daily lives for the next 4 decades, embedding themselves in the national consciousness and continuing the tradition of celebrating New Zealand through the money we use. When you think about coins, you probably think of the ones you get as change at the shops, the 10, 20 and 50-cent pieces, and the $1 and $2 coins. These are known as circulating coins because they are made to be used and passed around or circulated from person to person every day. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand issues millions of these coins to make sure there are enough for everyone to conduct their daily business. They are made from strong, durable metals like plated steel, so they can withstand years of being handled, dropped, and honestly even put through washing machines without falling apart. Their designs usually stay the same for many years. However, there is another whole world of coins that most people rarely see. These are special coins made specifically for collectors. In the world of coin collecting, these are known as non-circulating legal tender, or NCLT for short. While they're technically legal tender, meaning you could legally spend them in a shop for their face value, you would almost never want to. This is because they are made from precious metals like silver or gold, and their collector value is much, much higher than the amount stamped on them. For example, a 1-ounce silver coin might have a face value of $1, but the silver itself could be worth $40 or more. These collector coins are produced in much smaller numbers, a practice known as having a low mintage. The mints that produce them take extra care to create coins with a flawless, beautiful finish. They often come in protective capsules and are presented in special display boxes with a certificate of authenticity that details their specifications like their weight, metal purity and mintage number. These coins celebrate a huge range of themes, from major national anniversaries and sporting events to popular culture phenomena like the Lord of the Rings movies. Their purpose is not to be spent, but to be admired, treasured and collected as miniature pieces of art and history. So why does the Reserve Bank issue these two different types of coins? Circulating coins serve a practical purpose. They are the workhorses of our cash economy. Collector coins, on the other hand, serve a different role. They are a way for New Zealand to celebrate its culture and heritage on an international stage. They generate income for the Reserve Bank through sales to collectors both here and overseas, and they act as beautiful national souvenirs. Understanding the difference between these two types of coins is key to appreciating the full story of New Zealand's coinage, the everyday money in our pockets and the special treasures made to be kept forever. By the early 2000s, the coins that had been introduced back in 1967 were starting to show their age. The original 50, 20 and 10-cent coins were large and heavy, made from a copper-nickel alloy. They made wallets and pockets bulky and heavy. Furthermore, the small 1 and 2 cent coins had become almost worthless due to inflation. The cost of producing a 1 cent coin was actually more than 1 cent. People often just left them in take a penny, leave a penny trays at shop counters. The Reserve Bank realized it was time for another major change to modernize our currency and make it more convenient and cost-effective. The decision was made to phase out the 1 and 2 cent coins completely. From 2006 onwards, cash transactions would be rounded to the nearest 10 cents, a practice known as Swedish rounding. This meant the 5-cent coin was also no longer needed and would be withdrawn as well. At the same time, the Reserve Bank announced that a new, smaller and lighter set of 10, 20 and 50-cent coins would be introduced. This change was dubbed Change for the Better. The new coins were made from steel, plated with other metals like copper and nickel, which made them cheaper to produce and lighter to carry. While the sizes and materials of the coins were changing, the Reserve Bank decided to keep some of the beloved designs that New Zealanders had known for decades. The 10-cent coin kept its Maori Karuru mask design, and the 50-cent coin kept the image of Captain Cook's ship, the Endeavour. However, the 20-cent coin received a brand new design. The classic Kiwi was moved to the $1 coin, and the new 20-cent piece featured a beautiful and distinctly Kiwi image, a Maori carving of Pukaki, a chief of the Ngati Wakawe Iwai. This new design was a wonderful addition, bringing another piece of important Maori heritage into our daily lives. The transition to the new coins took place on 31st July 2006. For 3 months, both the old and new coins were accepted in shops. After that, the old coins were no longer legal tender. The Reserve Bank launched a massive campaign to collect the old coins, encouraging people to take them to banks to be swapped for new ones. Over the next few years, hundreds of millions of the old heavy coins were returned and shipped overseas to be melted down and recycled. This big shrink was a huge success, resulting in a lighter, more modern set of coins for the 21st century that we still use today. In recent years, the world of coin collecting has become much more vibrant and exciting thanks to new technology that allows mints to add colour to coins. New Zealand has embraced this trend, creating a stunning array of commemorative coins that use colour to bring their designs to life. One of the first and most popular series of coloured coins celebrated the anniversary of the Anzac forces in World War I. Starting in 2015, the Reserve Bank, in partnership with New Zealand Post, began issuing special circulating 50-cent coins that featured a coloured red poppy, the symbol of remembrance. These Anzac coins were a huge hit with the public. They were circulating commemorative coins, meaning that while they were made to mark a special event, they were also released into general circulation. People could find them in their change, which created a national treasure hunt as everyone tried to collect the set. Each year from 2015 to 2018, a new design was released, each featuring the iconic red poppy, but with a different background image representing aspects of the war. These coins were a powerful and accessible way for all New Zealanders to remember the sacrifices made by our soldiers a century ago. Beyond the circulating Anzac coins, New Zealand has also produced a wide variety of coloured NCLT coins for the collector market. These are often struck in pure silver and feature incredibly detailed and vibrant designs. Themes have included New Zealand's beautiful native birds with coins showing the fantail, or piwakawaka, or the Kareru in full realistic colour. Other series have celebrated Maori culture with intricate designs from mythology brought to life with splashes of red, black and white. These coins are not just pieces of metal, they are miniature canvases that showcase the skill of the designers and the beauty of our nation. The addition of colour has transformed coin collecting. It makes the coins more visually appealing and helps to tell their story in a more dynamic way. For example, a coloured coin showing the Southern Cross constellation against a deep blue night sky is far more evocative than a plain metal version. This technology has allowed the Reserve Bank and its partner Mints to push the boundaries of coin design, creating products that appeal to a new generation of collectors. These colourful coins are a testament to how our currency continues to evolve, using modern techniques to celebrate our timeless stories and natural treasures. For 70 years, all of New Zealand's coins featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. From her youthful image on the coins of the 1950s to her more mature portrayal in her later years, her effigy was a constant presence on our money. Following her passing in 2022, a new chapter in the history of our coinage began. With the accession of her son to the throne, our coins would need to be updated to feature the portrait of our new head of state, King Charles III. This change marks the first time in most New Zealanders' lifetimes that a new monarch will appear on the coins in their pocket. By tradition, when a new monarch appears on the coins of Britain and Commonwealth realms like New Zealand, their portrait faces the opposite direction to their predecessor. Queen Elizabeth II always faced to the right. Therefore, the official effigy of King Charles III shows him facing to the left. This new portrait, designed by British artist Dan Thorne, was personally approved by the King himself. It depicts him without a crown, which is a tradition for British kings on coinage. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand announced that this new effigy would begin to appear on our coins starting in 2024. The introduction of new coins is a gradual process. The Reserve Bank will not be withdrawing all the old coins with the Queen's portrait on them. Instead, the new King Charles III coins will be slowly introduced into circulation as older coins become worn out or as more coins are needed to meet public demand. This means that for many years to come, we will see a mix of coins in our change, featuring both the late Queen and the new King. This period of transition will be a unique time for coin collectors and a daily reminder of this significant moment in our history. The first coins bearing the King's image are expected to be available in 2024 and 2025. The change of monarch is a perfect example of how our coins reflect the passage of time in history. They are not just static objects, they evolve with the nation. As we look to the future, it is likely that our coins will continue to change. With the increasing use of digital payments, the role of physical cash may diminish, but coins will likely remain as important symbols of our national identity and sovereignty. From the first silver coins of 1933 to the new coins of King Charles III, the story of New Zealand's coinage is a rich and fascinating journey that continues to unfold.